Yo, yo. Katt Williams was on fire this week. Can we sound the alarm? Yo. I mean, he was just firing shots, right? Sound the alarm, man. Sound the alarm. Yo. Katt Williams is firing so many shots that I think we got to talk about this real quick. I mean, I'm glad that I watched this whole interview already way before it got super famous. What is it at right now about? I think it's 25 million. Okay, so when I saw this interview, it was even before it had even hit 1 million, right? But this is what we got to talk about, man. I mean, this is an interview that just went all around the world, yo, like all around the internet. Shots fired, man. Shots fired. I think we all saw this coming, right? What a way to start off with a bang. And I want to play some of these clips. I'm sure that we've already all have seen, and I'm going to go through some of them, but some of them I have to be careful with because we don't want to get the copyright or whatever. But can we agree that Katt was just doing it, man? Let me just play some of this. Like, we already seen some of this, but to go over and analyze a few of the things that were said, I think is greatly needed.
On the Kings of Comedy. Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The
whole purpose of this is that he is exposing the industry, which we all know. And the question is how many people have really gone out there to say something like this?
Same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. And it's a man unit. Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good Oba-Kaby and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have a range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
Yo,
I don't know, Katt. We might not.
Man, this is just crazy how the way he's just firing these shots right here, which I think we can all agree with. And I mean, okay, let me just go. I will go to some of the comments. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Christopher, which I love that name, by the way. Today's my son's birthday, by the way, and his name is actually Christopher. So yeah, shout out to you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta say, well, before we get into all that, man, that Ludacris, let's go to the verse. You're right. While this is playing, I'm gonna pull the verse up. Let me just play this, because you're right. He did say an interesting verse, Ludacris.
Let you drink anymore the way you. I mean, we ain't even got.
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip.
Gonna have to remember that one, man. I'm gonna have to remember that one. I am not fueled by alcohol. Shh. Man, he said, what? The truth don't need no motivation. There was so much knowledge that was being dropped in this. And the interesting thing is that I heard some people that say, oh, well, I don't really care to hear about this because they rich and they should just be talking about whatever or enjoying life on a vacation. I'm just like, yo, man, not everybody wants to retire. Some people want to go out there and they want to speak their truth. And Katt Williams is definitely one of those people. I've always enjoyed Katt Williams. And let me just say that for the record. I've always enjoyed his comedy. He was always up there in my top 5 with Dave Chappelle. I know a lot of people love Dave Chappelle. And I still enjoy Dave Chappelle's work. But I feel that some of his stuff lately has been getting kind of redundant. I know I'm a little late on the bus. I need to see the new special. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, y'all tell me what y'all think. But let's get these likes and subscribes up so we can get this message across, because we're going to break down the truth tonight. We're going to break down the Illuminati. And I hope y'all are having a great time and a great week, because I feel like we about to get in it this year. You know what I'm saying? Or every year, but we about to get in it for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Cedric sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why I'm not a movie star. What?
It's a situation.
He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That's why he's called the Entertainer.
Yo, I love the way Katt just set this off, man. He didn't come to play. He never does come to play.
Right. We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi.
Okay. I know some of us have heard some of these clips because they've been trending all over the internet for the past few days. Or yeah, I'd say at least like what since the interview dropped, it's just gone viral, right? But my point is this though, man. Can we just like acknowledge the fact that Katt Williams just set it off, man? Like he set it off, and what he was saying is basically like, we're gonna bring the truth to light. Now it's time for all that to happen, and he seems to be one of those on the forefront.
Say a good comedian.
The world doesn't think that, sir. I have 12 comedy specials. He has 4 specials that are not available on Netflix or Tubi.
It seems to me, Katt, that you had a lot to get off your chest.
No.
You wanted to set the record straight.
Winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history. I don't say any of these things if my name is not breached by these people on your platform. If you give a liar a platform to lie, then I'm not being messy by saying, hold on, that never happened, it's untrue, and there are hundreds of witnesses for each thing I'm saying.
So let me ask you this. What is your relationship with Steve Harvey, Rickey, Smiley, and Cedric the Entertainer as you sit here currently?
For 30 years, they're a group. These aren't 3 random guys. The way that Rickey Smiley kept appearing at all of my auditions is because of Steven said he would tell anybody that listens.
Okay, so I think we heard a lot of this part right here, but did we hear the part with Ice Cube? You know, how he had his comments and then others that had their comments that responded, especially Kevin Hart, who did a little bit of that. So I want to pull just some of that stuff up. The Ice Cube one is, as we already know, it's just so boring. The way he talks, so monotone. Great rapper, but the way he talks is just so monotone sometimes. But let me just play some of this for research purposes, because he does get into the Friday, and the whole thing about the Rickey Smiley thing was about Friday. So, of course, Ice Cube had to address this. Let me play a little bit of this.
Just wanted to address a few things. You know, everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. You know, first of all, I just want to say, you know, we shot that movie over 20 years ago. So, you know, people have different perspectives, and it's been a long time. I also want to say, you know, every comedian that I've worked with.
I'm just going to let this ride just for a little bit. I know Ice Cube is just talking to talk, but it's important that we hear a little bit of this.
Perfect for the part. I tried to put him in a position to win. That's what it's all about, you know. I don't, you know, I look at from, you know, Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac and Mike Epps, Katt Williams, you know, Rickey Smiley, Michael Blackson.
Okay, so we get the gist of this. The point of the matter is that he's addressing what Katt Williams was saying about Friday and how Ice Cube, some people were complaining that he doesn't pay well, and that, you know, just the whole politics of the roles that were supposed to be played. Like, nobody really cares about that. I feel that Ice Cube had the right that he had to go on and he had to speak his truth. Okay, great. That's great. But let's just go to all the other things that Katt is basically saying about the industry and just how, you know, you got these gatekeepers and these people out here that basically control who gets on and who doesn't get on and all that stuff. So let me see if I can find another part. And then we know about the grape, right? Can't really say the word, but Ice Cube had to say that he's not a part of that. Let me see.
Second thing I want to clear up. It was never, I would never shoot a rape.
Yeah, here you go, right here.
Scene in a movie, especially like Friday, where you actually see this happening on camera. That ain't my style. If you check out any of my movies, they not raunchy. We did a movie called Players Club.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
The subject matter was a little raunchy, but for the most part, even that, we left it to your imagination. So the only reason that kind of stuff was in the movie is because you have 3 villains in Friday After Next. You have Santa Claus stealing presents. You have Damon, just got out of prison, sweating. Craig and Day for the rent money. And then you have Money Mike, a pimp that treats his woman, like a property. So Craig is always fighting the villains in the movie, from the Joker Brothers to Debo. And so we already had Craig fighting Santa Claus. And the only real way to get rid of the other 2 villains was to have them go against each other. And the plier joke was always in the script. It was never, we would never ever show that. That's not my style if you look at any of my movies. So, that was never a discussion. We, at that point in everybody's career, we would listen to a certain extent, but we wasn't gonna change the movie for any actor. We do what we feel, and if it was a rape scene, it would have been in the movie.
Damn.
But that's not my style. I don't even like that kind of shit in movies, on camera. And so, that was, to me, a little discrepancy there. Katt, he wrote a lot of his part because, like I said, he was giving us jewels, so we were keeping the camera rolling. He was coming off the dome. He was coming prepared every day to steal the show. That was his mission. And, that's what he did, with the movie. And it launched his career, And I'm proud of the movie. I'm proud of all the guys who've, come through, a Q Vision production and went on to do bigger and better things. And look, a lot of people are talking about pay and how much they was paid on these movies that were extremely low budget. Most of these guys work.
This is important right here. This is important.
Days, And when you're doing a movie, there's over 100 people working on the movie that need to get paid. Most of them got to get paid every day. And there's pre-production and post-production. Even after you finish with the actors, you got to pay editors and sound people.
Okay. So Ice Cube was very monotone about that. Let me just make sure I could jump on here real quick so you guys can see me. It seems like he was very monotone about that and letting you know what was going on. Now, a lot of people have said that this was the take where Kevin Hart, if I have this correctly, had said something on the Breakfast Club that was what pissed Katt Williams out. And like I said, man, we're just going to go down memory lane around some of these clips.
Hollywood.
But I think this is the take.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work.
Okay.
You fucked off promo shoots.
Woo. This is probably the part where I can't say that, I do I do agree with Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a part of me that I always think that Katt Williams is funnier than most of these comedians. I'm gonna tell you right now, Dave Chappelle killing him softly or killing whatever it was softly. That's Dave Chappelle's greatest stand-up, other than the one in San Francisco. I forgot what he called it. But other than Chappelle, I've always, like I said before, Katt Williams is up there, man. For me, my top 5 for sure. And I'm not saying that after the interview. I was already thinking that American Hustler, all the stuff that he's done, incredible, hilarious. The movies, actor, and comedian. As far as Kevin goes, I respect Kevin as an actor. Some of his stand-up is okay, but I never really thought that he was that funny. But this part right here where he's saying, you didn't show up to the auditions. You didn't show up to the work. You had the chance. I can see where Kevin is coming from. You know what I'm saying? Or what he's saying in that regard. He's saying, I showed up to work. I did the work. I showed up to the interviews. You didn't want to go. But Katt, after we saw this Club Shay Shannon Sharpe interview, he's saying basically, well, you just did whatever they told you to do, and he wasn't cool with that. And that's his side of the story of why he didn't show up to work. I don't know. 2 sides of the story, but this is the one right here. This is the battle.
You fucked off your promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I got to fix me, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand up for comedy. Mm-hmm. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian and these other women have worked hard, which they have. Mm-hmm. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho. Shouts out to Lunel. Mm-hmm. Shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to fucking bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't shit on those that now are.
Hold on.
I've used my platform and I've brought my guys and girls up.
I don't know about that. I think he kind of argued that. I think Katt said that he did a lot of tours and he did bring a lot of comedians up with him. I don't know.
Oh. Mm-hmm. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so fucking far, whether you like me or not. My presence in comedy will forever be felt because I'm a fucking boss. I sit on the top of it, and the opportunities I'm giving are the ones that I'm creating. So take responsibility for what you did. You fuck you. Nobody else did. You don't hear Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, the Kings of Comedy, Seinfeld. You don't hear George Lopez, Eddie Griffin. You don't hear fucking who else can I go down the road of other comedians? Steve Martin, Martin Short. You don't hear the guys that got on top and that made it by doing what they love complain about the people that are coming under them. The reason why is because they're happy with themselves. Don't blame everybody else for your shit. Don't shit on my sister Light because you're not happy with your shit. This shit is earned. It's not given. I don't give a fuck if you're a Tiffany Haddish fan or not. It's earned. Tiffany Haddish got years in the game. It's not an accident that Tiffany Haddish got an opportunity to star in a movie. It's not an accident that character popped in the movie. Written or not written, a character has to pop it.
And he even acknowledged the...
Oh, damn. Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. Yo, man. This was way before Katt Williams said the interview. You know, I'm not trying to be like one of those fake bloggers on Twitter. What's their name? The Daily Loud and other No Jumper and all them that post fake stuff. Man, these cats actually post fake stuff that came out years ago and act like it just came out yesterday or it's just brand new. I'm letting you know right now that this came out a while ago, that whole Kevin Hart interview. But I think that that's one of the interviews from what I'm seeing on Twitter and trending online and what a lot of people are saying is the interview that set it off. So we all know about the Ludacris verse, right? What's very interesting about this verse is that Luda says that he's never been Illuminati, right? He says that he's never been Illuminati. I've never been Illuminati. I've been, what did he say? Luda-nami or Luda-nami. Whatever it was, man. Whatever it was. It was just like, really? What? I felt like that bar that he said made what Kevin Hart say even more real. It made Kevin Hart say even more real. And thank y'all for the likes and the subscribes and the comments and all that stuff. I'm going to get to this real quick because I know a lot of y'all was saying that. So let's do what we do best here on this channel, and let's analyze this verse.
Whatever's heavy on my heart is always on my mind. Like Snoop's cannabis shredder, I'm always on my grind. They throwing shade cause niggas could never take my shine. I bring my watch collection on my jet, let me take my time. Like fine wine, I'm aging like Benjamin. Top 5, I'm worth mentioning. Bring me rappers, I'm lynching them. See the pendulum swing, Jesus with diamond thorns. Ludacris, swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. And I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm
now tuned into the motherfucking greatest.
Just the fact that people say that it's not real means that it can be real, or that it could be real. And didn't Katt Williams say in the interview that most of the people that sold their soul will tell you that they did not sell their soul?
See the pendulum swing, Jesus with diamond thorns. Ludacris, swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. And I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati.
One more time.
Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. And I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life. Never been a clout chaser, never say shit for likes. R.I.P. John Singleton. You never have to flex when you earn every one of your Fast and Furious checks. Afro with the sideburns. Yeah, that's my signature. Addictions on the rise. Comedians, check your temperature.
I know that was just a quick little 16 bar or whatnot. Interesting choice of a beat too. Kanye, Devil in a, what was it? Devil in a New Dress, because he was playing off of the movie Devil in a Blue Dress, right? With Denzel, Don Cheadle. So it's like, okay, that's the beat that you chose to rap over. Interesting beat, because we all know that beat was already, or that whole album was like a controversial Illuminati-ish album. So now we got Ludacris that rhymes over that. And what did you say? I was just going over some of the comments because you guys made me think about that. Yeah, I mean, some of y'all was saying Luda was shook. I feel like they were all shook, because didn't Cedric responded, Michael Blackson, a lot of them responded, but the funny ones was Kevin Hart who responded. I think let me pull this up. This is one that a lot of people said that they didn't appreciate from Kevin Hart. Y'all know that he was on some sports channel yesterday. I think I may have it somewhere. Let me see if I can pull it up. Man, there's so much research to go off of this. Yeah, Faison Love, if I said his name right. He responded on some stuff that was, it's just Ice Cube. And then we had what? What else we had? We had Joe Rogan. We didn't even pull that up yet, right? Where Joe Rogan said, hey, I love Katt. We always say that he's one of the greats, because didn't Katt go on to say in the interview that Joe Rogan is a gatekeeper and he only puts certain comedians on? So there was so much to go through. Give me 1 second. Let me just see if I can pull up one of these real quick. And I got all the clips right here that I want to go through. And speaking of which, we also going to talk about a lot of these black men in dresses. Unfortunately. I mean, are they trying to sabotage the rappers in the rap industry? Because I was just going through it, like that was one of the controversy that Kevin Hart had, right? Was that he said, hey, you know what? You said you wasn't going to sell your soul to Hollywood, and then you did. This right here. And we're going to come back to this one. Hold on. This is terrible right here, yo. But I gotta show y'all this too, that we had to talk about since we on this call and we on this video. I'm gonna leave this Ludacris one up real quick, because we have to come back and listen and study to that verse. But here. Let me pull this up real quick. Yes, Tyrese in a dress. Now, some people said it was Saudi Arabia, but I also heard some people saying, hey, you know what? Why is it red and black? Why is he wearing those colors? I mean, this is another thing that Kevin Hart was talking about. All these people that are wearing dresses that have to go around in Hollywood and portray this type of an image. Is something else really going on that we don't really know about? Let's get back to a little bit of the interview. Like I said, to not get copyright infringement, but you know we bring in our originality to this.
They got a gang on.
I'm gonna try to go through some points that I think got passed up because I think we all saw majority of these clips that are watching this video, you know, hopefully. I mean, maybe some haven't. I know the interview's around 3 hours long, so I know I'm not saying y'all, but I know a lot of people don't really have the attention span to sit there and listen to an interview like this, but I will highly recommend that you go do it because Katt was definitely dropping knowledge through this interview. I'm going to skip through some points, but hopefully I don't go over anything that's too important, but if I do, I believe I got it on Twitter, but let me see
on that side. They know what it is. They know who the gang is. Why Earthquake not in movies? Because he's illiterate. He can't read. Mm-hmm. And they found that out when they gave him a show and put the cards in front of him. Like, all of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets. And this is the age of truth. And the truth doesn't need to be scared of the fact that people tell lies. Katt's on drugs. Where are the stories? Why is there no story of anybody who ever sold a drug to me, did a drug with me, was around me when I was inebriated? I got 5 daughters. I got 5 sons. Why would we tell these ridiculous stories?
Now, I heard a lot of people arguing about this. I mean, this actually wasn't a part I wanted to play, but I wanted, not that I didn't want to play it, but I just felt like there were so many more important parts that Katt was talking about. But since this one came up, I have heard a couple people speak about this, and I'm glad that it came up because it came up for a reason. It's basically to tell y'all that Katt was dropping so many jewels through this interview, which I think we all can agree with. But the point of the matter is that some people actually got the fact or the fact of the matter is saying, oh, this man went to prison and he's a crackhead. So therefore, I can't validate anything that he's saying because he's a crackhead and he went to prison. But it's like, okay, some people may have a negative past, but just because he had some things that he did in his past that was negative, you're going to take that away from him from what he's saying or saying that what he's saying might actually be true. I thought I heard some people say on Twitter that all these people responded, but not one person said that Katt was lying. Not one person said that he was lying. So that's my point. It's like, well, okay, so maybe he did do drugs. Maybe he was a crackhead. Who cares, man? You gonna say that what he's saying right now is not true?
Because it's competition. You feel like, well, why comedy guys can't just get along?
Yes.
Why didn't you get along with the other teams you were competing against? If you're a Denver Bronco, why you don't get along with the Cowboys? Something wrong with you?
But I don't disagree. I don't dislike all the Cowboys. Katt, damn, you like this?
No, that's not.
Okay, what comedians do you like?
Did you play against the team?
Yes.
I've taken 46 comedians with me on the road. 46.
Okay.
The scariest part of estate planning is that no one will know there's a problem with your estate plan until you're gone. And by then, it will be too late to fix it. But at the law offices of Daniel Hunt, we've prepared.
I'm not the comedian you can give that to. I only put on comedians that are funnier than me. Anybody that ever told you differently was a fat Faison liar. There's nobody like me in the business.
Faison just caught a stray.
Faison said that getting a Netflix special is easy. I have 12 specials. Guess how many Faison got? 0. So why is he allowed to have conversations about real stand-up people? We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all. As a journalist. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I don't harbor any resentment to any of these entities because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race.
Yo, I gotta say, man, Katt, sound the alarm, man. He is just... He's exposing it, man. He's the only one that's really telling you what's up. He's the only one that's telling y'all what's up, man. And like I said, man, can we get these likes and these subscribers up? Because we're going to be bringing the truth, man. We was already bringing the truth. We coming in right now running, too, man. We coming in with a bang right now, man. I'm going to play some of this, too, like I said, because I know a lot of people will say, hey, just let the interview play. But you already know copyright reasons and stuff like that. But it is good that a lot of us should have already seen the interview by now. Like I said before, it has, 25 million views already. Probably will be at 30 in no time. So that's what I'm saying, man. A lot of us should have already have seen this interview. Let's go to the parts that we know that some have left out, because there were some clips that I was thinking about that I did see trending online, but there were a few other parts of this interview that I feel were left out. But for right here, he's definitely talking about, let's just go ahead and say the powers that be.
Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side.
This is crazy right here.
And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Gee.
Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Katt because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you.
Yeah, that was definitely the shot right there at Kevin Hart that we brought up earlier. See, I'm glad we going through it, y'all. See, we do our research at beatGrade. Give us some props, man. And give some props to Kevin Hart, man. I mean, or not just Kevin Hart, but actually Katt Williams, my bad. Kevin Hart for saying that, for getting Katt Williams to get the way he was. But Katt Williams responding and speaking on that. Let's make some noise. I mean, he was firing shots, yo. He was firing shots, man. And he woke the industry up. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about what Katt Williams did right now, is that he woke the industry up. It was like, what do they say? You awoke the sleeping giant. I mean, it's like, yo, man, I could swear that probably there was a lot of celebrities, whatever, famous people, comedians, obviously Joe Rogan, that were watching this interview and was like, damn, hope he doesn't talk about you or whatever. Right? He was just throwing shots, man. Anybody that gets mentioned, watch out.
You that no studio has ever lost money with me on the script. How? That's why I'm saying, that's why I can't let Rickey Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike, because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I designed the hair for Money Mike. I collaborated with the wardrobe department and made outfits to make sure that no one in America would be wearing what Money Mike was wearing. I told him to go get the Prowler. I then told him to paint it purple. I told him don't have an actor at playing a pimp. We could get an actual pimp, Archbishop Magic Don Juan, to play. Like, I did far too much work for somebody to come years later and try to tag along just for their own self-aggrandizement.
Why didn't Cube set the record straight? Terry Crews could have set the record straight. Mike Epps.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person.
I gotta say, right here, Katt is speaking truth. And I'm sorry, I know I'm sounding these alarms too much, but a lot of people I've been hearing say that to me, and a lot of people have been saying that in this interview is sound the alarm, because it's like, man, he was firing shots, and we cannot take that back. Oh man, the way he was just laying it out right here is just amazing, man. This is like real shit, like the realest shit that we needed to see in a long time is the way I'm feeling. Like, man, I gotta tell you, he's definitely putting the industry on blast, and I could tell that Kevin Hart got this cookie cutter image where he probably just is. I'm going to find the clip from ESPN. Thank you for reminding me, because y'all got to see that. It was like a little cheap shot that Kevin Hart was throwing back at him, and I don't know if y'all seen that yet, but it was very interesting. I'm going to try to cover as much as possible as I can in this live stream. So when y'all go back to watch this, I got pretty much everything historically documented, because this is one of the most important things, not only to just go on in black culture, but in the entertainment industry, Hollywood, the music industry, the sports industry, pretty much every industry. He's talking about it, man, and exposing the racism that goes on within it and the politics. Oh, and also, may I input being part of the club?
Do you think a plant is?
Yeah.
Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Did this go over people's head where he talked about Kevin Hart being an industry plant? We all know industry plants, right? And I love the fact that he said that maybe people don't know what the definition of an industry plant is. Like I said, man, we're going to take a deep dive and a deep look into this interview, because I hear people talking about it, but I haven't really heard people analyze the words and the terminologies that were used throughout this interview. It was very intelligent, very articulate, and definitely very knowledgeable.
Show there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Hey there, YouTube content creators. We get it. You've got tons of amazing content on your...
Let's keep it going.
He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.
Here we go.
They all do the same job.
Oh my God.
Why do you think Gary Oldman can't cross over?
Oh my God. And I got that clip too of Gary Oldman, man. You know what the number one job of people who sold their soul is? What he say is to act like
Bald
it didn't
again?
happen.
These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
Right here, right
Is
here.
to act like it didn't happen.
Woo!
They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years?
Can I? Wow, man. Wow.
That liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again?
One more time. One more
These
time.
are some power people.
One more time. I mean, the bomb that was dropped right here is just so informative that I think we need to play it one more time.
Again, these people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people.
Okay.
That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What's
is
that?
to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years?
Wow.
If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium.
Right here, he's breaking down the
They rock
Illuminati.
with who they rock with, and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not.
Let me make sure I rewind that part so you can hear it clearly. But he's basically breaking down the Illuminati right here.
Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood
I know we
is?
played it again, but
Is
we'll
to
play it
act like
again.
it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with, and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team.
Okay, I think we got comedian Gary Owen speaking on that I did see pull up. Like I said, man, we're going to do our research. I think this is the part where he might speak on it a little bit, hopefully. Let's see. And then if not, I got some other clips too that I want to go through. But
just be honest. Don't say something behind my back. Whether you like Katt or not.
Yes. This is the response already from, the comedian who acts black in a lot of movies and is down with black people, got a black wife, all that stuff. He's doing it. He's doing it on that tip. But he's saying that he hasn't really become super famous because he hasn't sold his soul to the Illuminati. And I think he speaks on it right here.
He's not going to talk behind your back. However he feels about you, that's how he feels about you. Now, he did say one thing. He talked about Rickey Smiley, and he talked about when Rickey Smiley went on Club Shay, Shannon Sharpe's podcast, which is a great podcast, especially for, I know I'm a white guy, but for my demographics, and I'll get into that in a minute, what Katt said about me, but for my demographics, Club Shay, I'd rather go on Club Shay than Joe Rogan. Even though, okay, I got to get into I got to unpack this podcast because Katt made a comment where he said, why you think Gary Owen, who's a white guy, has been doing stand-up for 25 years, hasn't crossed over. And when he said it, I was like, wait a minute, was that a good thing or bad thing? And I literally had to go to Twitter and start asking people, was I catching strays or what was it?
So that's what I'm saying. Everybody got to go to Twitter to find out the information. So this is the part right here that I think is pretty important because Gary Oldman, if this is the right clip, man, he speaks some knowledge, or I wouldn't just say necessarily knowledge, but just some interesting details of what goes on in Hollywood. And he's naming major studios like Fox or, studios like that pretty much, I guess you could say, predominantly run the industry, movie or musics. Music, it's all the same people. They're all connected. So anyways, let me just let him say it.
And they're like, no, they were saying you haven't sold your soul. That's why you haven't crossed over. You've been consistently you, and that's why you haven't, quote unquote, crossed over. So I was like, oh, okay, that made sense. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but I've been I was in an awkward situation one time where I can't say for 100% this person was trying to make me do something, casting couch type deal, but it felt like it. And I was like, is this that point where I've always heard, would you suck a dick for $1 million? And I was thinking to myself when I was in this office in this room going, well, this is I'm about to answer this question. And the answer was no, I wouldn't. So now I listen, I can't say for 100% that's where it was going, but it felt like it. It felt like it. You got to be in the room to feel it. And I was like, oh, this dude is really coming on to me. Like, this is happening in real life. And the dude did it, and he'll always remain nameless. I think he was feeling me out. Like, is this dude? And this was years ago. I was young in the game, but I was just like, wait a minute, is this happening right now? I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, I made sure I made it very clear I like women. I'm not going that route. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm not gonna get into it, but I was wondering. I was like, ooh, is this happening to me right now in real life? So I think Katt was saying I haven't sold my soul, and that's why I haven't crossed over.
So he basically was breaking down his knowledge right there. But let me go back to what we might have.
Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't. Wow. Cedric.
My name is Rachel Nelson.
This whole interview is just explosive, man. It's just explosive. This whole interview, like, it don't really matter what part we go to.
There was nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me? Why would you downplay me like that? Why did I give you a pass if you were just gonna lie? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, they're all a group. Cedric, Steve, Rickey, they've been a group. Everybody knows that. They've been aligned. And there are these alliances in comedy. And if you stand against them, then they sometimes have a problem. But we don't let that change the content.
Sounds like rap music, too.
Is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Can you believe we're this deep?
And then Shannon Sharpe, of course, has to do his ads.
I couldn't live within the religious frameworks of what they had set up. But that was more not wanting to live a double life and not want to embarrass my family. You know what I mean?
Because I read where a form of punishment for you is that they would take books because you mentioned you were such a voracious reader. And a form of punishment it was when...
Yo, this is actually an important part right here, because he talks about how the school system lacks to teach kids to read and how kids are always on their phone nowadays and on cell phones, and, you know, they just don't have the attention span that we used to have. So this is a very important part where I think he talks about reading like around 3,000 books or something like that. And, hey, I feel like all these points are coming up for a reason that it's meant to be shared, because I was looking for some other points, but it's interesting how the ones that are coming up right now as I'm running through it, it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that part. That's an important part, too, that I didn't hear many people speak on.
When they would take the books for them, because you could read fluently. You told me how at like 3 or 4 years old, you could read, not just a little child's book, but you could read.
Well, I'm saying when we go to Haiti to do missionary work, understand that my mother and my father, nobody that's there with us speaks French. And, I mean, it speaks Creole and reads French. So I'm in charge of everything, from the housing to the cars to the gardener. Like, I'm saying, so I'm not just reading, I'm reading in multiple languages. Like,
how old are you?
I'm probably reading 3,000.
Yo, I want to say real quick, for those of y'all that are watching and listening, can you please subscribe, like, and share the content so we can get the message out there? You know, the more that helps, it helps to get the message out there, because like I said, man, sometimes I feel the algorithm doesn't want people to know the truth. I was just speaking to a few people how they were talking about Joe Rogan, saying that they don't know who Joe Rogan is, but they know who Sexy Red is. And speaking of Joe Rogan, did we pull that part up? I mean, I was looking for the part where he says it in the interview, which I already have a clip of it. But Katt Williams, I told you, was talking about how Joe Rogan was one of the gatekeepers. And if this pulls up real quick, because I did have it in my search where I just wanted to show y'all real quick, is that Joe Rogan says right here on Twitter, I love Katt. He's one of my favorite comics, and I love to have him on. We talk about him all the time. If he's down, I'll make it happen. This was the clip right here.
Where a comedian, and that's how it was.
This
for
the
Blue
clip
Comedy.
right here that got on Joe Rogan's radar.
And that's how it was for Blue Comedy. If you were a comedian that cussed, you were ridiculed by the mainstream comedy geist. That would be like me being on Joe Rogan. Joe don't want me on there. I need to be on Shannon. Joe got 6 comedians that never been funny. He want to push out. But that's real.
And that was funny, just the way he said that. So the fact that Joe Rogan saw that, it hit his radar and said, hey, I love Katt. I love to have him on. I mean, woo. Shout out to you, Katt. Shout out to you, man. You manifested it. You know what I'm saying? You manifested it. Talk about speaking things into existence. He talked about Joe Rogan, and now Joe Rogan said, hey, you know what? Let's make it happen.
First met Katt Williams when I was Cat in the Hat, and they tell these.
All right, let's try to run through some of
was
these.
already religious and super strict, right? I didn't find out about other religions by reading about them. I went to their religion. I don't want to learn from Jewish people from outside. I want to be in a synagogue. I don't want to learn about Muslim people I want to be in a mosque. I don't want to hear about the Baptist or the Pentecostal. I want to go to their church and see. And so that was the religious discovery that I was on.
I just wanted to hear that part real quick. I enjoy hearing parts about people's religious discoveries.
On the Aries Spears, they all look like.
Man, what you got against Wanda Sykes? You think I don't remember that?
Sir.
This part was important right here.
Wanda Smith.
And I had only said one name, sir.
Wanda Sykes
I'm
is amazing. I love.
Yeah, Shannon Sharpe almost messed up with the name drops right there.
Love Wanda.
And I agree.
I love Wanda. That's my girl. But I remember on the radio, you went on the radio interview. If I'm not mistaken, that's in Atlanta.
Right.
And
man, I went back and I researched this. I've been looking up old Katt Williams videos, and if you guys want, drop it in the comments right now that I can go back and replay some of the old Katt Williams clips that I've been watching. But I gotta say that that roast that he did with that one interviewer in Atlanta was like funny at first, but then I went back and I watched it and it was kind of sad too, because it was kind of like she just didn't know when to stop. She just like, sometimes you just gotta stop. And Katt Williams is just a professional. He's sharp, he's witty, he reads, he's intelligent. Like, come on. And you know, I think, and sometimes, yeah, I guess that's just the way it is, especially in the world of comedy and entertainment. There's going to be some people out there that are going to try to test you, but she obviously tested the wrong one, and I heard she got fired after that, right?
And you came on there with seemingly good intentions, and she attacked you.
It wasn't just that part. It was the fact that before I go in there, she has a conversation about, okay, now, I just want to talk to you because you just won an Emmy for the city of Atlanta, and this is in Atlanta, and they just want to hear about the Emmy and hear from you and to thank you for what you did putting the city on. Right. Okay. And we won't talk about your kids. We won't talk about jail, no cases. We ain't going to talk about none of that. Right. And immediately gets in there and goes the opposite way. You can't flip up on me because you're an inferior comedian. I'm going to destroy you, and I'm never going to call you out of your name. I'm never going to say anything disrespectful to people that look like you. It's a very thin line. I got a call, but this lady is trying to embarrass me in front of a largely homosexual fan base. That's why she got canceled. Gay people don't take it kindly that you would, as a derogatory, call me gay. Gay people don't feel like it's derogatory. So why are you trying to shame me with something in a community I don't even belong in?
Right. guy.
It's Ryan Reynolds, as owner of Mint Mobile.
Yo, man, that's real. That's real.
On things like commercials.
There's no gay people saying I belong over there or been over there.
You did,
but I have no hatred of over there, and how dare you?
You did a number on it, though.
Hey.
You did a number on it. That's legendary.
No, you either believe in karma or you don't. Because I didn't even know any of the stuff that she had done to my fellow comedians until afterwards. I just know that it was a setup.
Right.
And remember, they tried to kill me this same weekend. Not in jokes.
Yo, that part right there was just, whew, that was an interesting part right there, man. You guys can go back and watch that.
To be in the position that he's trying to say that he's in. And if you're the African king of comedy, sir, there's actually comedians in Africa doing comedy. If you're going to say that, you got...
Yeah, we got the Michael Black.
That's why I'm funny, because I'm a happy person. I laugh all day long. I can't even imagine the misery of these bums. Just to not be good at what you do, not work hard at what you do, but have to act like you're the best at what you do. It is crazy.
I want to say thank y'all for the likes.
They be doing like 100 shows a year.
Let's keep it going, y'all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. I hope that we getting it up right now. Please share, like, subscribe, and let people know, man, because hey, we gonna push this out even more. And I'm so glad that Katt Williams came with this interview, because I feel that he gave a lot of us firepower and fuel that we were already feeling, and he just came through and just ignited the fire right now. So I just want to say shout out to you, Katt Williams, and thank you so much, man, for making it happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was already gonna happen, but it was like the fact that he did it just made it even more so. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Too much. I didn't want to be stereotypical.
Right.
I did the research. I saw how many times people played pimps, and it was always something weird about them, right. I guess. Bench D-Lo. He had 2 points. What are you talking about? Shut up. But I like him. Nobody cares about that. That's not what we're talking about. These are business conversations that deal with businessmen.
I'm going to keep it going real quick. I just want to run through the important parts, because as you can see, this is nearly a 3-hour interview. So I want to go through the important parts for the time that we have. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank y'all for tuning in with us.
You should fall by the wayside, and the guys that have the talent and they get elevated, they should move.
No, that's what water says. That's what the universe say. The universe say the levels. No, not I say. Who am I? I'm nobody. But I'm working every day as if I think that's what
should happen.
Is how it should be.
State P, I just saw your comment right now. What part did you mention that went over people's heads, you feel?
I'm making sure that they all make $300,000 a season, and I'm making sure that they're not ever signed to me or my conglomerate, and that's why they're successful. No, you can work with me and still be an independent businessman, boss owner like you came in.
Right.
I don't need you to be subservient to me. That's those other guys that make you pay dues.
You said earlier that you rewrote a lot of what Money Mike was discussing.
That felt like they earned the opportunity because they were big. No.
Yeah.
I understand. It wasn't, people say that. He lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. And until you understand what happened to the dude, you don't understand what happened. Like, no, not they offered him $50 million and he turned it down. Who gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Can I need to know?
It was like, I gotta get another drink right
Thank
there.
you.
Come on.
Because early on you was accusing me of being...
Katt, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, but you know, some of these people...
Martin tried to put me in my first dress. When he had to go on his hiatus, he tell me, Katt, when I come back, I need you. You my young partner. You my brother in comedy. When I come back, just promise me that my next movie, it'll be me and you. We gonna do it together. We gonna do some buddy cop shit. I said, Martin, you got my motherfucking word, my nigga. Go do what you gotta do. When you come back, I'm in your movie. Don't trip. I don't need to see the script or nothing. You know, we get in that office and this fool pull out Big Mama's House 2. I almost died. And I gotta read this script from all these good white people. Where this nigga want me to get in a dress with him. And I'm literally saying to everybody, why is he in a dress again? You already played the old lady as an FBI agent. We can play anything now. We can be playing a dog catcher this time. Why do we need to be in a dress? And I get so mad, I say, you don't want me. You want Brandon T. Jackson. And that's who they went and got. Twice I said it, they went and got him. Just like I'm telling you, I had that other dude's work. I had all of it. All I did was say, I want to punch it up so it's not offensive to real niggas. And that's how I got in this position.
I sure hope I have a Club Shay after this air.
It's gonna be in a dimension it's never been.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
The greatest thing floating in 2024. Mark the words. No way. In a whole different realm of business. Oprah coming next. Once I establish this as a place of truth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Watch. God's people ain't that few.
Prince. You met Prince.
Prince was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine.
What was those conversations? Because look, I mean, sometimes we don't really.
Yeah, we're going to come back to that. I mean, of course, they got to talk about everything, but he did bring up Brandon T. Jackson. And I think I did see an interview with Brandon T. Jackson on Twitter as well. Like I said, man, we're going to go down this rabbit hole where he was speaking about wearing a dress and saying that he regretted it in the Martin, whichever episode it was.
Slack when you wore the dress at that moment?
It was like, wasn't slack from people. Only Katt Williams. Katt Williams was trying to always say, Brandon, don't wear a dress.
This before
he called you, or is this?
No, he was.
Listen to this interview. This interview is pretty weird, just like the Gary Owen one. I mean, it's like some people are going to sit here and say, oh, that ain't true. That don't really go on in Hollywood, or there's no such thing as the Illuminati or things like that. But then it's like, you hear all these stories of all these men, especially black men, talking about how, well, he wanted to suck my penis at the agency in front of everybody. Oh!
He said in the media, so I thought he was heckling me. He was really trying to help me at the time. I didn't know that. I was immature.
Right.
I feel like, dang, why I'm trying to make it.
Why
you bashing me? And then he was trying to warn me, don't get in the dress. So the awakened Brandon, you couldn't pay him $1 trillion to get in the dress.
Yeah.
The awakened Brandon. Notice how you said the awakened Brandon. See, everything,
How did they present that? Well, you knew right away you had to get in the dress.
I did the scene on Lottery Ticket.
Okay.
That scene on Lottery Ticket. After that, they were pushing his dress on me. It was something about that scene that touched a lot of people, and I think I was too real. I think they did the same thing like to Tupac. When you too real, they start looking at you like, hold on, how'd this slip past us? Who's this guy? You know what I mean? And then it's like, you know what? Yeah, he might be a kid. Just put him in a dress.
What do you think the dress is about? Is it to tone us down, to tone that realness down?
I think the dress, personally, is a thing that is not in our culture to do. And I think everybody will want to put their culture on that. Not to hate your culture or your God. Mm-hmm. If your God say you can put on a dress and your culture is normal for you, that you have the right as a human to choose that. But me, for my God and my culture, my ancient culture, we didn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was cursed by it. I believe.
Let's just take a moment to just analyze what Brandon T. Jackson said right there. He said, if that is your, I mean, I don't even want to repeat it. Let's just have him repeat it, but I don't know. Like, I said earlier, I saw in the chats, some people said, yeah, that did go over people's heads. Can y'all tell me exactly what part you are talking about? Because this is another part right here that I think went over people's heads. And I don't think some people really see how deep this man is really talking about the psychology of this. Let me see if I can go back to this real quick.
In my culture, my ancient culture, we didn't do.
Yeah, his ancient culture. He's talking about his ancient culture. Y'all feel me on that?
For you, that you have the right as a human to choose that. But me, for my God and my culture, my ancient culture, we didn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was cursed by it. I believe it was a curse that went with that personally, because nothing went right since then. That's truthful. No one can tell me, hey man, you thinking too much, man. You sit down, man. Everything went wrong. Just like everything went right. Everything went wrong when I put on that dress. I'm telling you, I lived it.
Yeah. Is there any
even with Martin, things went wrong when he did it too, because Martin is very anointed. Martin is a very strong man. And Dave Chappelle said that too. He says things about that too. And something, if you look at Martin's Arsenio Hall interviews, you look at him now, something's changed. You know?
Yeah, well, Martin, I noticed that too.
It's not a shot, but something's changed.
No, he definitely had like a lot of fire behind a lot of energy. He's got similar to me. He's gotten older, but I don't think he's gotten that old.
Eddie Murphy's old. He still has a fire to him too. I don't think it's an age thing. Yeah. I mean, my dad has a fire. He's almost.
You think maybe it was more of the business that kind of it took so much out of him?
Honestly, I think it's a spiritual thing, but everyone has their own journey. Mm-hmm. I can't say what it is. I don't know. I think, for me, I can only speak for my journey. Once I put the dress on and I had that fire was put out.
Yeah. And
I only did it one time. So imagine doing it 3 times, 4 times. But then Tyler Perry did it. He got stronger. I don't know the rules. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened to me. I'm not here to knock another brother because that's their path.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't do is knock my brothers because that's their path. But I'm saying my path, when I put on a dress, it came with a demon baby mama and a starter kit for hell. That's what happened to me. You haven't seen me since. Yeah. But then I feel stronger though.
Would you warn other stand-up comedians about a dress?
Yeah, I had an interview too where I would do it. I would do it eloquently and say I wouldn't wear the dress if you're chosen. Some people can wear the dress; it doesn't affect them. But I don't know. For me, it didn't work. So I can say I wouldn't advise anybody to do it. Just who wants to roll that dice?
Yeah, and as you look back on it now, you kind of would never.
If I had a time machine, we was with Marty McFly, I would go back,
Damn.
And punch.
Damn, if y'all watch that interview, it almost seems kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? That interview seems kind of sad. Kevin Hart in a dress, SNL. Let's look that up real quick, see if something pops up here. He probably made it hard to find, but I wanted to see the part. You see, that's why I like Twitter, because everything is still usually on Twitter. But yeah, so it looks like Kevin Hart was just warning everybody. Wow, and they did it with the Pope? Interesting. I didn't know that was the whole...
This is not a water bottle.
I didn't know that was the whole bit. I didn't see this bit.
I'm Wolf Blitzer, and this is... This week with the Catholic...
From the looks of it, the new Pope is not Turkson.
Wow, this does seem like a whole Illuminati skit if you really think about it.
The new Pope is not Turkson. The new Pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kavanchine Wallace.
Wow.
Wow.
I probably can't play this because it's Saturday Night Live, and I'm pretty sure they're going to flag it. But I think we get the idea, right? Yeah. So did Kevin Hart, can somebody answer me this question? Do actors get paid to do SNL, Saturday Night Live, or are they just doing it for the heck of it? Okay, yeah, this is pretty crazy. All right, we can't play too much of it because they're probably gonna flag it. See, this was kind of a dumb take. I saw Andrew Schultz and Charlamagne speak a little bit on this too. Like I said, man, the noise that went around the internet, man, this went around the internet. Katt Williams hit a home run. He hit a home run, man. He fired his shots, and then he hit a home run.
How would we feel about it?
Yeah.
Movie, please.
What movie?
Blue Beetle.
Some people said, is Andrew Schultz one of the people that Katt Williams was talking about when he said that he brings them on Joe Rogan or brings these comedians on Joe Rogan and they aren't very funny?
Our boy Jolo.
It's weird. It's strange, right? Because like, if a woman comes to you and a woman says, "Yo,"
hey, by the way, man, thank you for the likes and the subscribes on the channel. Let's get it up. If you guys can, please share, please like, please subscribe. We're gonna only keep this movement going, keep this journey going, and get this, get this truth out here. So, yeah, man, I thank y'all for tuning in with us right now.
I'll put you in this movie if you let me suck your dick.
What if she reverses it?
Oh, they're talking about a female. Okay, great. They're talking about a female.
So try the same thing, but
Okay, say it to me. What do you mean? What's reverse?
You go.
Huh?
So you go. I'll suck your dick if I.
No, I don't like how that's gonna look on camera. They might edit that shit and have me leaning over to you, be like, "Hey, I'll suck you." You know what I mean? So what are you saying?
Oh,
You go.
that's what bothers you now.
Good that Charlamagne is aware.
All the memes they gonna put.
Anybody making the memes?
I'll suck you. Let me suck your dick.
Okay.
Immediately,
Yeah.
and then you found out you're also going to be in a movie, and you're like, "This is great." I thought I was just coming here to audition. I didn't realize.
I was gonna bleep out the bad words, but we already about what? I think over an hour in, so I'm just gonna keep it rolling. Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
Dismiss what Katt Williams said.
But he's also a genius because now I can't wait to go see him on tour because I'm like, please talk about all this shit that you talked about in this movie, in this interview.
I feel
Good
like
point.
Katt has talked about this before, though.
About
the Harvey Weinstein thing. I feel like because that's what he was explaining in the interview. He was like, "Yo, I got blackballed. I got in trouble for talking about Harvey."
Actually, he didn't say that he got blackballed. You see, that just goes to show that Charlamagne didn't really watch the interview. And Charlamagne, by the way, I watched a little bit of this clip. He was trying so hard to defend He was trying so hard to defend Kevin Hart. That is. You got Kevin and Katt. Both of their names starts with K. So it's just like, damn, okay? But, yeah. He was trying so hard to defend Kevin Hart in this clip where I was just like, yo, man. Charlamagne, you must be part of them too.
And I think when you got that kind of power and you got that kind of money, you probably say shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I still don't know why he would want to suck a dick.
That's the crazy thing to me.
Yeah, if you're the person with the power and you have the ability to change somebody's situation, why would you be sucking the dick?
Yeah.
That's what makes it even wilder. But maybe you're a comedian. Katt's a comedian.
So
that's a better bit.
It is a way better bit.
That's a better bit.
It is a better bit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was to say, Harvey asked me to do X, Y, and Z,
he says,
we expect that.
He says something funny afterwards. He said, hell no, I ain't do that shit. Now I got to the table read, and there were two other black dudes there, and I was like, well, how the fuck y'all get into this movie? So he could just be doing a bit.
It's funny.
It's
a good point. He definitely was playing a character in this interview.
It's funny. Yeah. It's funny.
But he was also speaking some truth.
Funny, man. It's funny. What else we got, Taylor?
Didn't talk about the Joe Rogan part though, did you, Andrew?
Taylor,
or did you, Schultz?
Tay.
I saw Katt say something too about Kevin Hart, and he said Kevin Hart's
oh yeah, let me find that clip real quick.
Come up wasn't organic. I totally disagree with that.
Here we go,
I
right
totally
here.
Disagree with that.
Here we
and
go,
the reason
right here.
I disagree with that is because we watched Kev not succeed in Hollywood. We watched his NBC sitcom. I think it was NBC.
Cap,
we watched his sitcom.
Cap, stop lying,
Charlamagne.
Charlamagne.
We watched Soul Plane not do well.
Also, stand-up is like his...
That's the point, though, that I wanted to make, is that we saw Soul Plane not do well. But, wait, I didn't mean to pause it on Schultz picking his nose. But, yeah, we didn't watch Soul Plane do well, but then he still had a career after that, which I think is kind of the point that Katt is making, because most actors and comedians, when they put out failed shows or movies, usually you don't really hear from them after that unless they're rocking shows. I think that was the difference between Chappelle and the others, is that Chappelle's movie Half Baked, which some of us have seen. Y'all remember this? I mean, I know it's always better for some of those. Y'all need visuals. Oh my God. This was like a good and terrible movie at the same time. Y'all remember this movie with Dave Chappelle, Half Baked? Is it for sale on Microsoft? Interesting. Anyways, this movie was pretty horrible, just like what you call it, Soul Plane with Kevin Hart. But Dave Chappelle still seemed to make a career after this movie. I'm willing to bet how many Chappelle fans out there have actually seen this movie. Let's go to the part real quick where Kevin Hart was throwing low jabs at Katt Williams on ESPN. Because I definitely wanted to play that part. That's a part that needs to be documented in this video.
New York Knicks. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Katt Williams bought the Knicks.
He definitely bought it.
He bought the Knicks, and
low
it's
jabs.
rumored that he took the Knicks back, returned them with a receipt.
Yeah, you could do that. You didn't know you could do that.
The first person ever did.
Yeah. Oh, they gave him a 30-day policy.
He had it. Well, he bought it for 15 days
and returned it.
Yeah. That's another fun fact about the New York Knicks.
He made the team.
He played.
He played. Oh, he played.
He played with the Knicks. He played with them.
This is an interesting. Like, I don't know where they're going with this. Y'all tell me.
We know he's fast. They say he's fast.
Yeah,
he run a
one of the fastest.
3.9.
What you say?
A sub 3.9. He figured out how to play basketball from reading all them books.
3,000 of them.
3,000 a year.
A year.
That's 2 a day. At 6 years old. That's 2 a day. Who knew he was so voracious?
At the age 7, he got accepted to I think it was Delaware University.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Never made public news.
No, ever.
What y'all think about this?
The biggest secret in the world.
Hey.
Smartest kid to ever do it. They kept it a secret for 48 years. Yeah. They kept it a secret, and it just dropped on us.
He was hitchhiking on the side of the street at 13, so they couldn't find it. Speaking of which, Kev, you've had a busy week.
Yeah.
A tough one.
Yeah, real busy week, fellas. A real busy one.
Okay. John Morant coming in to the Lakers. Okay, I see you.
Another known fact, Katt dropped him off.
Oh, wow. Katt just dropped John Morant.
He gave him a ride.
In a spaceship. Okay. In a spaceship. Copy that. Spaceship that he parallel parked.
Known fact, Katt Williams has a NBA basketball court in his living room. He's the first to ever really...
Oh, yeah.
He's the first to embrace a true hardwood floor.
Yeah.
He bought it in his home.
Was he playing against that little boy that put him on the ground?
Another known fact.
By the way, he's fighting for the MMA championship, the 17-year-old boy that put him in the rear naked choke. In a headlock, right? But it's a known fact that Katt Williams do not breathe oxygen, so it didn't bother him.
Yeah.
Oh, copy that. You can't choke him out.
Yeah,
That's
you
a known
can't.
fact.
Everybody knows that.
He's 92-6 in one.
So let me ask y'all this. So the whole time they sitting around here cracking these jokes during the game, pretending to be funny, they ain't going to ask about the Illuminati. They ain't going to ask, like, so, other than you had a busy week, which was kind of funny. That part was kind of funny. But then it's like, other than that, it's like, okay, so what's your response to being part of the Illuminati? Because this is what so-called or allegedly what Katt Williams was saying about you. And I find it so funny that they can't even talk about that, but we all know why, right? We all know why. Why? Because they're on ESPN. And who's ESPN owned by? We don't need to go into details right now because we pretty much can assume. But I'll say this, though, that it's like, yo, you know what? They couldn't talk about it, man. They couldn't talk about it. Like the real questions. What are the real questions that you're going to ask? But I think so far, if I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I think that that's the closest response that we have of Kevin Hart so far. Let's play Snoop's verse one time.
Whatever's heavy on my heart is always on my mind. Like Snoop's cannabis shredder, I'm always on my grind. They throwing shade cause niggas could never take my shine. I bring my watch collection on my jet. Let me take my time.
Okay.
Like fine wine, I'm aging like Benjamin. Top 5, I'm worth mentioning. Bring me rappers, I'm lynching them. See the pendulum swing, Jesus with diamond thorns. Ludacris, swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never taken on my heart is always on my mind. Like Snoop's cannabis shredder, I'm always on my grind. They throwing shade cause niggas could never take my shine. I bring my watch collection on my jet. Let me take my time. Like fine wine, I'm aging like Benjamin. Top 5, I'm worth mentioning. Bring me rappers, I'm lynching them. See the pendulum swing, Jesus with diamond thorns. Ludacris, swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. And I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life. Never been a clout chaser, never say shit for likes. R.I.P. John Singleton. You never have to flex when you earn every one of your Fast and Furious checks.
Oh, that sounded kind of So now he's married and you don't have to worry about leaving the parties with chicks. But yeah, I'm not gonna say it. Let's see what other parts. Let's see if there was any main parts that we missed. The lack of education. Let's play this one real quick. Yeah, man, Half Baked. Interesting movie right there, man. I think Dave Chappelle went on the road, though, and proved himself after that. You know, not sure if we made that point clear. Before we jump off this call, let's just play a few more
country
clips.
where we don't pay the teachers, and then we say the kids is the most important thing. You can't have both of them. If you do that, we're going to end up with a generation that can't read. Guess what? Generation Z and A can't read. Why? Because who was giving them a book? We gave them an iPad or a phone, and now the letters don't mean there's no cursive writing.
Right.
Sorry about that. So yeah, this is what period of time it's in. It's the period where the victims get to say, they've been hurting me for a long time. And I just ain't said nothing because I was trying to be strong and I didn't want to shame anybody. When our people call out for help, we got to understand. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, shout out, man, to Katt Williams, man. He's speaking some truth right here, man. Yo, if you didn't see this interview, I gotta say, man, you are sleeping. Yo, you are sleeping. He is speaking so much truth in this interview. Let's go to the part where he's talking about Jonathan Majors.
I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, Katt.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that. Hey, you saw that black woman come get his charge cut in half? Thank you, Megan Good. God bless.
Let's stop it right there real quick, too. Sound the alarm. Sound the alarm. Now, did we all know this? That supposedly Megan Good has come out and said that she was never with Jonathan Majors and that she was just a friend helping him through the case and just playing a role? What? Oh, I'm so glad that we went to this part. And if you guys don't believe me, let's just look it up real quick. Megan Good, Jonathan Majors. Let's just see if it comes up. They said they called it. Is Megan Good still with Jonathan Majors? Let's see. Damn, they want to be so technical. Megan Good ends their relationship with Jonathan Majors after guilty verdict. Megan Good ends her relationship with Jonathan Majors after he is found guilty, leading to potential. That's not the one that I read, but just letting you know, this is what's coming up on Google right now. We can see that this is on Google right now, okay? So a lot of people were saying that she was just playing a role and pretending to be with him, but to help him, get off that case, and it didn't really work though. Woo! He went off on Jonathan Majors too, saying that he was ugly and stuff like that. Man, Katt Williams is breaking down so much knowledge on this. Wait, oh yeah, that was Tyrese in the dress. We don't want to play that again. And that's Brandon T. Jackson in the dress.
You coming to save that slave. If he'd had to be there by himself, he was getting all four. Guilty. She came in there, was just so beautiful, they had to knock half of it off. Bless his heart. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theory, but I thought Katt Williams said any time they make you into that position, part of that contract is you do understand whenever we want to take you down, we can, right? Part of giving you the world. First of all, they went around the world for 2 years straight telling any women that would listen that this was a good-looking Negro. Since when? When did y'all start liking a big nose? And when did y'all like a little head and a big jaw? When? Since when? That look like my daddy. When you start liking my daddy? You like black people's features like that? If this ugly nigga is good looking, then all niggas is good looking. Anytime you see them telling you something you can't believe, just understand it's a play. And it don't matter. You gonna know it's a play as soon as they get in that position and think they gonna tell somebody something. No, you're not. No, you're not. Marvel will cancel you you won't be allowed to read a comic book. What is you talking about? Get out of here. Get out of here, ugly boy. Yeah.
Damn. He was firing shots at everybody, but I see where he was coming from, though. That Marvel, wow, they manipulate. They know how to manipulate people's minds and make you think that this is what's really tight. Like the whole, what was it? The whole Sexy Red thing, too? Shit. Yo, Chris Tucker is trending on Twitter right now. Should we dare to play that? Should we dare to play that? People, this was a crazy clip right here of Chris Tucker. Let's play this.
Didn't you? Yeah, I did. Oh my God, we flew Bill Clinton and a lot of different.
Let me go back to the question. Let me play the. Make sure you hear the question. Give me a second. My bad.
You knew Jeffrey Epstein, didn't you? Yeah, I did. Oh my God, we flew Bill Clinton and a lot of different. Well, that was a humanitarian trip. I met him.
Okay, so supposedly Tucker, Katt Williams went out there and said he's on the list. I don't know.
Bill Clinton, that was fun. We went to like 3-4 countries in Africa, and Clinton was great, man. We had so much fun. We had so many, so many places to go. We started getting bored. Sometimes we just start playing games. I started doing impressions of Bill Clinton, and he started liking it. He was like, "Oh shit, that sounds just like me. That sounds good. That sounds great. I like that."
So this is kind of scary with the whole things that are coming out, and then Katt Williams going on to say what he said. Oh! How did nobody never say this before?
He invited me to Africa, man. He invited me. He said, "Tucker, you want to go to Africa with me? I think you'll like it. You're black. I'm black. I think you'll like it." Come on. It'll be fun. Come on. So I started doing the impressions, man. Everywhere we went, he wanted me to do them. We in little parties at night. "Tucker, come to me. Come to me. Come on over here."
Damn. Be my puppet.
Every country we went to, finally I got tired. We got to Nigeria. He wanted me to do it in front of the president of Nigeria. And I was scared. If I mess it up, they put me in jail. No, not now. He said, "Tucker, come
The
on."
music kind of ruins it, but okay.
Don't act like that. Come on, it's stressful. I'm tired. It's been a long trip. Maybe I won't do it this time. Tucker, come on now. I need you. I done set it up now. Come on, don't let me down. You want to ride home, right? Huh? You want to ride commercial or private? You let me know, Tucker. That's a long ass flight home, Tucker. That's a long.
Interesting comedic take, is it not? That's very interesting. The whole Tucker thing with Bill Clinton. Whew. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think we pretty much got the point across for what we wanted to say and what is going on. Let me read some of the comments. I'm going to play some of this Kevin Hart speech while I read your comments. And let me just throw this up real quick. I was looking at this picture of Beyonce and Jay-Z. Shout out, though. Love them. Love their music. Jay-Z, as you guys know, is one of my favorite rappers of all time. Reasonable Doubt is definitely in my top 10 favorite hip-hop albums of all time. So Jay-Z definitely is one of the greatest. But I gotta say, man, what is Beyonce throwing? It's like, what does that symbol mean in this picture? Nothing negative or nothing. I'm just like, what does that mean? Like, just, okay, yeah. Oh, don't take that screenshot of what I just did right now and use that against me. I just was just looking at what she was doing. You guys are going to take that screenshot now. It's just an interesting photo. Okay, and Andrew Schultz is interesting the way, why are you sitting like that, man? With your tight-ass jeans on. Why are you sitting like that? Okay, so this was also an interesting part, too, with the women from The Color of Purple. And I know that it didn't have much to do with the whole Katt Williams thing, but, man, they were talking about being vessels and how they accept the energy from people that were around. I mean, it was just kind of something
specifically
interesting.
On the
Oh, and Oprah's on this too.
The iconic scene for me of, you told Harpo to beat me. And I
just think that, like, they're saying some knowledge right here that y'all should hear if you guys haven't heard this yet.
Sitting right with Blitz as she was filming that, and her own, she made it her own.
Yeah.
She made it her own.
Thank you so much. What was your preparation process? Did you consult with Oprah?
Yes, that's one of the first calls I made. I asked Scott Sanders, our producers, I said, do you think she'd mind talking to me? Because I was so shy when we did it in 2015 to go to you. Because I just didn't want you to think I wanted anything from you. I was just so nervous. But this time I was like, I got to call this woman. And I did, and we talked for like a long time. And she shared stories with me. And
it paid off. It was destined. Because Miss Taraji, you were the right sugar baby. Oh my goodness.
I think this is the part right here.
You embodied her so well.
I think this is the part right here.
You go to see this movie, you won't realize it, but I was in the wings watching, and I saw all the dailies. This woman stepped up on that thing was done 88 times from every single possible angle over a 2-day thing. 88 times. That's when I came to you and said, how you still doing this?
I guess the adrenaline gets going, and it was a good time.
Now, how's Taraji kicking it with Oprah and also Jennifer Hudson and talking about she feels she don't get paid enough? Maybe that was her calling, though.
Like, the cast was fun, the dancers.
This is the part right here, though. I think this is the part right here. Listen close, y'all. Listen close. Like, she's about to drop some information of, I can't even really explain at this moment, but just listen to what she has to say.
It was just a really good time. I felt like I was in a juke joint back in the 1920s. Yes. It really felt you like own it. That, baby. You know when you go, I wish I was alive back then? That was the moment that I felt like.
The crowd was kind of quiet right there, like, hey, I don't know if you really want that. Would you, like, if you're a black woman complaining about now, I don't think you'd want to be a black woman back in the 1920s.
I had that moment in time. It was beautiful.
Times from every sickness.
I guess the adrenaline gets back in the 1920s. Yes.
Yeah.
It really felt like own it. That, baby.
You know when you go, I wish I was alive back then? That was the moment that I felt like,
I had that moment in time. It was beautiful. You brought it to life, because I saw this. Y'all need to get out there and see it if you ain't. When it come out.
Christmas Day.
Be there with bells on. Okay, before we go, Felicia, I have to ask you, what was it like seeing Fantasia and working with
and watching her head tilt and just listening.
And then they're gone and there's no contact. I mean, the sisterhood
dark. You know, so there were moments on set when I was watching her, and when I knew she didn't need to stay into it, I'd go over there and make her laugh, you know, to lighten the mood a little bit. And whenever they yelled it's a rap, I was all in her face. Yeah. So she could go home and leave Celie at home, because it's a lot when you're dealing with, you know, playing these characters, because it's very spiritual what we do as actors.
This is the part here.
You're on the set, you have your chakras all open, you're allowing this character to use your body as a vessel. And so you have...
You're allowing this character to use your body as a vessel. Did y'all hear that? I've always said that actors and actresses are vessels.
All open.
She said the chakras are open. Oprah, are you listening? I think she is.
We do as actors. You're on the set, you have your chakras all open, you're allowing this character to use your body as a vessel. And so you have to learn how to flip the switch on and flip it off. Otherwise, it could drive you mad. You know, because you have your own, like she says it all the time, she has her cross to bear and then your character's cross to bear. It's too much. It can be too much. So I was trying to help her out with that a little bit. I would try to make her come outside sometimes, but she got the dog.
Yeah, Tayshaun, I heard you got a little story for your dog.
He had a dog.
What's this fake dog story?
She had a dog. We would always be like...
Yeah, so that was an interesting part about the chakras. Give me a moment, y'all.
Is that a gang sign? Have you?
Y'all remember this with
like
Jim
you
Carrey?
Don't know what it is.
Oh, like you don't know what it is, Jimmy. You know what it is. This is hilarious, man.
You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol.
This is a crazy episode right here, and I don't even know if we can even play this. It's going to say sound the alarm, but I don't even know if we can play this, but yeah.
Symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and
the fact that he said that you're a part of it, and then later on to come to find out that, I don't know, was Jimmy Kimmel's name on the Epstein list along with Chris Tucker? Crazy. What else do we have trending right now? Crazy. The memes are going crazy, right?
Understand or appreciate someone.
All enough. Excuse
me. We'll go ahead and skip this ad real quick. I hope in the meantime, as they're running ads, you guys can go ahead and like and subscribe, follow the channel, and support what we're doing, because like I said, we're going to just keep bringing more and more of this truth to you. And, you know, hopefully we bringing this to you from a different perspective, because I saw some people talk about this, but I don't feel that they really went deep in analytical. So we'll look at a few more clips before we about to sign off.
Heaven, no matter what happens, if it ends in a second, I'm up there.
I was already about to end this, but I was just having so much fun with y'all that I kept it going. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to keep it going. But let me look at some of y'all comments. I see there's some comments that came in, so let me check that out too.
Matter is, they wanted to give me a star, but please don't consider me and this person been sitting on this list this whole time. And just because they ain't got enough money, they can't get their just due? That's crazy. When do you start? That's hurtful. What if somebody can't afford their flowers? You mean they don't get them? No, God don't operate like that. He would send a dummy like me to come and take care of that. Just so that the right thing happens. That's how the universe works. But because remember, what am I spending my money on? I'm not spending my money on strippers. I ain't spending them on drugs.
Why not?
Like,
stripper
what?
bar.
Because if I go in a strip club, I'm only trying to get her out of there.
Yeah.
I have no intention of her or any other people being in this position. If I see a girl I like at the strip club, I'm telling her, you know you don't have to strip no more after this. This could be your last day.
Funny.
That's a lot of kids for a man that's as busy as you are.
Faked like I want. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing is I don't have a type of woman. Every woman that I ever had as a type, I ended up getting her. Now she's not the type anymore. Now I understand that every woman is a one of one. Like you can't really have types.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Cause see how you tried to ask me something about marriage, but then
I ain't say nothing about no marriage.
Yeah, you did. When you rewind the tape, you let it out. You was like, "So you ever gonna get married?" And then you took it back. It's okay.
That's what I heard some people say, man. That Katt was just so sharp on this interview that Shannon was saying things and asking questions that he couldn't even remember. The Katt was like, "Nah, you said that, and I answered that." He was on point, man. He was on fire. Like, talk about coming on with your A game.
It's okay. I was known as a photographic memory.
Are you?
I'm not against it. Like most people that. No, you don't get to. What's she listening to?
Well,
you can't be listening to Sexy Red. You're broke. Toxic people are trying to get things. They're not being toxic for no reason. They're gaining something out of how they operate. That's why they operate like that.
People were asking, why did he say that about Sexy Red if you broke? Yeah, I think because most people probably that listen to that trash ass rap are probably, in that situation. I don't think intelligent people really listen to Sexy Red. No offense.
Because they get something. As soon as you find that out, you'll be able to cut off what they getting, and they will leave. Yeah.
We're dropping some jewels right here.
You were married once.
Never.
You weren't married?
Never in life.
We're going to skip past this part, though.
Of a doubt, whatever hour he was doing when we last saw him, he won't be doing that hour when we see him this time. It's a whole new conversation. And because I've never strayed from that, they've never strayed from their part.
I'm looking at some of the actors that you've been on screen with. Cube, Tracy Morgan, Regina Hall, Terrence Howard, Nick Cannon, Tiffany. Bro, who brings out the best in Katt Williams? How does someone get the best out of Katt Williams? Do you need a comedian? Do you need a serious actor? How do we get the absolute best out of Katt Williams on screen?
Well, I would be disingenuous if I didn't remind us that that's never anybody's goal. It's never anybody's goal to create a great situation for me to do a good job.
Why?
In a script. The way it works is the script is already there. This is a character in the script. If they give me the job, I make it my job that this character here has to be as big as this whole project. So if you don't even see the movie School Dance, I've known Nick Cannon since he was a teenager. He had to have his, in the comedy club, if you're underage, you can't be in the regular club, you had to be in the kitchen.
Right.
So I was the master of the kitchen every comedy place because I got a child and my child is back here in this place while I go on stage.
Right.
So I've known Nick Cannon since he was.
Yo, what a dope interview, man. I think we pretty much got a lot of the clips that we needed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want things to shut down on you, but I do want to play this one part right here that is pretty strange of Shaquille. What looks like he is, I don't know what the right word is to use, but it looks like he's, emasculating Kevin Hart. A lot of this stuff is starting to resurface after the Katt Williams interview.
Let me show you. What never's gonna happen to your little ass in jail. what they're gonna do to you in jail?
Why am I going to jail?
Let me show you.
What?
What's gonna happen to your little ass in jail?
Crazy, right? So now we start seeing all these videos coming up of Kevin Hart in a dress, Kevin Hart in a compromising situation like that. I mean, I don't even know like how much money you could pay somebody. Would you do a scene like that where you bent over a car and Shaq is like emasculating you like that? Let me see if I can find the full video. That was just a clip. Real quick before we jump off this call. Yeah, this clip might look a little better. Crazy, right? I don't even remember seeing this. It's crazy how things just come up on the internet later on. That's why it's like, man. Be smarter, like what you do, man.
Jail.
Let me show you.
What?
What's gonna happen to your little ass? They're gonna do to you in jail.
Why am I going to jail?
Let me show you.
What?
What's gonna happen to your little ass in jail?
Oh my God.
They're gonna do to you in jail.
Why am I going to jail?
Let me show you.
What?
What's gonna happen to your little ass in jail?
Over a Porsche too. That's crazy, man. What are people saying about that? I don't know. It almost like when you start to see things like this come up, it almost makes you seem like what Katt was saying seems even more real. So I think we pretty much covered it, man. I thank y'all. I read some of the comments. I hope y'all liked and subscribed. I really appreciate the support. Like I said, man, we're going to keep it moving. Katt just lit that torch, man, which we all needed. I mean, we all already had that going, but, man, he set that fire, too, that just, I feel like, made people want to take content to a whole nother level.
Tory Lanez and Meg. What was your take on that? Because
we don't need to come to that.
Pep talk gonna help you. A lot of that just didn't happen, and that's what I've learned more from comedy is that Republicans laugh at the exact same thing that Democrats laugh at. As long as I'm talking to Democrats, I can make them laugh for 1 hour straight about what Republicans do. By the same token, I can go talk to Republicans for 1 whole hour and have them dying about the stuff that Democrats do. But at the end of the day, who does that? Yeah, your team got an offense and a defense. They not supposed to be enemies. The enemy is the other side. Well, you can't do politics like that.
Nope.
It's not good for the country.
Man, you see this Mark Zuckerberg building this $270 million bunker?
If you have $1 billion,
that's the part. This is the part right here that I really wanted to talk about was the Mark Zuckerberg part. So you're right. Before we jump off this call, let's really talk about the Mark Zuckerberg part because this part is so important. And if you guys can please help get the likes, subscribers, the ads up. Appreciate y'all. I was just reading some of the comments right here. What was this that you said? Thank you for your comments, State P. You peeped the Chappelle joke earlier. The analogy he makes with Jim Carrey was spot on. Can't really read that because there was like something right there. Okay, yeah. With Jim Carrey was spot on. Yeah, which Chappelle joke are you speaking of? Michael X, thank you for your comments. I really appreciate you. Hope you living well. I hope you living well too. Not sure what you meant by that comment, but thank you. Okay. When they talked about Mark Zuckerberg, I'm really glad that this part came up right before I end this call because it lets you know that at least they're thinking about other things. And I remember bringing this up to a couple friends, and I could understand why people are just like, why would I be worried about what some billionaire is building? But it's like, well, why is he building that underneath his house? So I'm glad that they brought this up and they talked about this in this interview.
To do. When Elon Musk wants to send things in space, he don't have to ask nobody's permission.
Great point.
Congress
right here.
Don't meet.
Yep.
Senate don't meet.
Yep.
No police department gotta be warned.
What?
He don't need a permit.
What?
He don't have to ask nobody's permission.
Let's run that back.
Congress don't meet.
Right.
Senate don't meet.
Right.
No police department gotta be warned.
What?
He don't need a permit. None of that. If
What?
you got $1 billion, you do what you want to do, and then you tell them what you did.
Man.
And that's how it goes.
What he built on the a $270 million bunker? What do he know that we don't know, Katt?
Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention right here.
Kim Jong-un? What? I don't know what you don't know. Do you understand that people that are not very bright are in charge of nuclear bombs all across the country?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he knows. He knows that 30% of all weapons systems are running off regular Wi-Fi. So what does that mean? That means if a solar flare or a meteor hits
Let's
either
run that
one
part
of those,
back real quick. Let's run that part back real quick.
bombs all across the country,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he knows. He knows that 30% of all weapons systems are running off regular Wi-Fi. So what does that mean? That means if a solar flare or a meteor hits either one of those, literally a bomb can go off just because the system accidentally got turned off. Yeah, that's what he knows. The people that are in power know that the people that are running the most complicated and deadliest things on the planet are just an average idiot. And you know lots of idiots.
I do.
Yep. And these people are not special. Back in the day they were.
Yeah.
Not today. Not today.
You say you smoke a little weed. You ever smoke with Snoop?
Yeah. I'm actually a bigger smoker than Snoop. He'll tell you that. But I don't mix anything with my weed. I just do weed, right? So nobody has
that minimum. I mean,
nobody does 20 blunts a day like me for 30 years. Like I was the first person to have a weed roller, like somebody whose job it was. Like I haven't rolled a blunt in 20 years.
You probably put
like
that
if you go, I'm saying I prefer the saliva of ladies.
Oh my goodness.
No, understand what I'm saying. If for a blunt, it's necessary for it to get lit, right?
This is a good point right here too. Before we jump off, that it made me start thinking about this too. That if you are gonna smoke weed, it is better if you're a man to smoke with women than it is to smoke with men. This was a great point that he made right here.
And so if you had spent 20 years smoking with dudes, that's a lot of male saliva that you would have just accidentally ingested, right?
But if I didn't kill
I can't be this specimen on that. It takes the saliva of nice ladies on that. But yeah, that's all I do. That's just
Do you consider yourself a king of comedy? Where does Katt?
What an interesting question to come out of nowhere. But can we get the likes up and the subscribes up? I'm about to jump off of this, and I really appreciate y'all that just are now tuning in or that jumped in or that have been chatting, that have been commenting. I hope that I shouted y'all out. This is a very special day for me as well, so I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I just want to say we only going to get this show bigger, better, and brighter. And I'm thankful for people like Katt Williams that are out there spitting the truth. Can we get a round of applause before we get up out of here for Katt Williams? Yeah, man. Yeah, he did his thing, man. He did his thing, man. He really came through on this, and man, he lit a fire, man. He came through with a.
They consider that. Like when after Bernie left, them same three guys I'm telling you about, the kings.
Yeah.
Right? Because DL is the greatest.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be the fourth king. I got the offer.
Then what happened?
But I turned it down.
Why?
Because you shit on Bernie.
Well, we don't need to go. This is all the comedy politics that wasn't really the point that I wanted to, make right here. But I think you guys get the gist of it. That
get out of here.
Let's see what else he's saying.
Get out of here. Get your ego out of this. You let the best be the best, right?
Katt Williams, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not as.
And I'm just looking at the numbers
HelloFresh is
too as
America's
well.
#1 meal kit.
Compared to all the other people, like the Steve Harvey. I see the show right here. You probably can't see it, but I was just looking at it right here. The Steve Harvey. It has 9.6 million in 8 months, which ain't bad. But just compared to this one with 25 million in 3 days or a few days, man, Katt Williams just put his he made his mark. He showed you the genius that he is.
And so this is what sharpens your joke. You then take those sharpened jokes and make it special. Not you just randomly take some. So it's a process. You don't allow them to process if the first time the guy did the joke, now that's his joke and the joke is everywhere. That just sets it up for people to steal.
Yo,
so how many times must you tell a joke
I see you, State P. Thank you.
How many times have you had to sleep with a woman before you done with her? That's not fair. If it's great, never. if it ceases to have usefulness, so it has been spoken. Right.
I read that.
All right, y'all. I'm about to jump off of this call.
In Florida, you had some help, some ladies.
I'm having so much fun on this interview. I mean, I feel like I can go on for like another 2 or 3 hours on this topic, but I guess shout out, man, Katt Williams. Hold on. I think I pretty much pointed out all the points that I wanted to make. I mean, we talked about the Luda, we talked about Kevin Hart wearing a dress, we talked about the Mark Zuckerberg, we talked about the we didn't talk about the wives yet. This was kind of plain, but it kind of wasn't because the person made it private. I don't understand why people make tweets that are private. Like, why even be on Twitter or Instagram? Like, people that have, I mean, I guess I get it for Instagram, but TikTok sometimes it's like people have a private account. And it's like, why is your account private on TikTok? It don't make no sense. All right, here we go. Let's play this while I look for this real quick. I don't want to play no Chris Tucker shit. That's just weird. Let's play this Dave Chappelle shit.
There is to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers got to wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in a trailer.
Oprah's like,
this must be
yeah.
a long trailer because there's a dress in here.
Oprah's like, yeah. Sure. Are you sure? Are you sure, Dave? Are you sure you want to talk about this, Dave? Yeah.
They come in. It's the writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on, and it's, Martin, prostitute. No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're a writer. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave, listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So then, wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know what I mean? This is, oh, gosh, this guy's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers comes, come on, David, would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, you know, strong brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast?
We all seen that clip, but I mean, just to hear, you know what I'm saying, Katt Williams speak on this shit, and then we go back to that Dave Chappelle Oprah interview. It's just kind of interesting.
Can't really be quantified, if I'm being honest with you. And the Chris Tucker that we got now is
this part's crazy. The Chris, yeah, I don't even want to say it.
That we got now is Epstein Island.
Let me go back to that.
And the Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
Oh, Lord.
Whew. If I didn't know no better, I'd tell you he's the greatest. I don't care what you say. To be confident and not delusional is a real skill. Most of these confident people we see is really delusional.
Well, you don't think they asked Chris Tucker to come back in the second Friday? Smokey was all in Smokey. There ain't no Friday without Smokey.
We all agree to that, and there's no next Friday without Friday, and there's Katt Williams is known for smoking weed. A nickname like that?
No.
Me neither. For smoking weed, he don't smoke weed like that.
Right.
He in the church. He Michael Jackson's best friend. Christmas. Michael Jackson called him Christmas. You ever met a man that gave you a little nickname like that?
No.
Me neither. Must be the greatest.
Man, I ain't gonna be able to get nobody back. I ain't gonna be able to get no more comedians.
They all coming.
No, they ain't.
Are you kidding?
Nah.
All right, well, I guess that's my call right there, y'all. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all so much. I feel like there was a few more clips that I could have gone through, but you know, yeah, I think we pretty much went through the ones that we need to go through. We saw what we needed to see, and we saw everything of people making fun of, you know, we got a lot of interesting memes that are traveling right now. Ugh. But I thank y'all for tuning in. Yes, make sure that y'all please like, subscribe. Hit me up on the Cashapp. The Cashapp is beatGrade. The PayPal is beatGrade, BEATGRADE, all around. Please search that. Connect with us. Let me know what's good. I really appreciate y'all. Yeah, man. We're going to probably maybe do another stream or a call tomorrow or something like that. But yes, as we sign out, I was going to see if there was this one other clip that I wanted to show y'all, but the quality's not as great, so don't worry about that. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Signing out.